Sego, Sawagwego. I'm Chief Don Miracle of the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte. Pleased to be with you this morning. The Simcoe Deed, or Treaty 3.5, turns 230 years old on April the 1st, 2023. This is the treaty that created our land base, known as Tyendinaga Mohawk Territory. As early as 1775, Sir Guy Carleton, Governor of the province of Quebec, promised those of the said Six Nations who would fight as allies of the British Crown during the American Revolution that King George III would make up to them whatever loss they may sustain in the war. Later, in 1779, Sir Frederick Haldimand, Governor of the province of Quebec, confirmed what Carleton had promised the Mohawks, that had been ruined by the American rebels, that they would be restored at the expense of the government to the state they were in before the war began. However, when the war ended with the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1783, Britain gave up the Mohawk lands in Upper New York State to the Americans. In recompense for the loss of our homelands suffered by our ancestors, and in recognition for their faithful military alliance with the British Crown, the 400 Mohawks and their allies were to settle on any unsettled lands on the north shore of Lake Ontario. At the end of the war, when the 400 Mohawks were still at Lachine, Captain John Desarancho began requesting a deed for a new homeland. Some 400 Mohawks and their allies, led by Captain John, about 20 families in total, arrived on the north shore of the Bay of Quinte on May the 22nd, 1784, and began our new homeland here in our traditional hunting grounds. After the landing, Captain John continued to request a deed. He knew that without protection and affirmation of a deed, the new village would be under a threat. The wait for the deed was 9 years more. The deed itself, dated April 1st, 1793, was executed by Sir John Graves Simcoe, Lieutenant Governor of Upper Canada. It was considered an open or public proclamation or letters patent. The Simcoe Deed, or Treaty 3.5, outlines the reason for the Mohawk Tract, a land description of the Mohawk Tract, how the land is to be used, and a process to dispose or surrender lands if that was the will of the Mohawk people. One of the most notable aspects of the Simcoe Deed is the explicit reference to women. The land is set aside for the chiefs, warriors, women, and people of the Six Nations. The Simcoe Deed set aside the land that was originally called the Mohawk Tract. Wording of the Simcoe Deed echoes back to the promises made by Carleton and Haldimand. The fidelity and bravery of the Six Nations are explicitly referenced. The Simcoe Deed also states clearly that the land is being granted in recompense for losses sustained and to establish a new homeland. I'm going to read to you now the text of the Simcoe Deed, or Treaty 3.5, because many of our young people may not be aware that this is what the words say. The deed, or Treaty 3.5, reads as follows. George III, by the grace of God of Great Britain, France, and Ireland, King, Defender of the Faith, and so on. Know ye, whereas the attachment and fidelity of the chiefs, warriors, women, and people of the said Six Nations to us and our government have been made manifest on divers occasions by their spirited and zealous exertions and by the bravery of their conduct. And we, being desirous of showing our approbation of the same and recompense of the losses they may have sustained of providing a convenient tract of land under our protection for a safe and comfortable retreat for them and their posterity have, and of our special grace, certain knowledge and mere motion given and by these presents, do give and grant under the chiefs, warriors, women, and people of the said Six Nations and their heirs forever, all that district or territory of land being a parcel of certain district lately purchased by us of the Mississauga Nation, lying and being unlimited and bounded as follows, that is to say, the tract will be bound in front by the Bay of Quinte, between the mouths of the River Shannon and Bowen's Creek, about 12 miles westerly by a line running north 16 degrees west from the west side of the mouth of the River Shannon, and easterly by a line running north 16 degrees from the mouth of Bowen's Creek, and northerly by a line running east 16 degrees north and west 16 degrees south at a distance of about 13 miles back from the Bay of Quinte, measured on the western boundary aforesaid by the northeast angle of the township of Thurlow. to have and to hold the said district or territory of land of us our heirs and successors to them, the chiefs, warriors, and women people of the said 6 nations, and for the sole use and behoof of them, their heirs forever, freely and clearly, all of and all manner of rents, fines, and services whatsoever to be rendered by them, the 6 nations, chiefs, warriors, and people of the 6 nations to us or our successors for the same from all conditions, stipulations, and agreements whatever, except as here by us expressed and declared. Giving and granting, and by these presents, confirming to the said chiefs, warriors, women, and people of the said 6 nations and their heirs the full and entire possession, use, benefit, advantage of the said district territory of land to be held and enjoyed by them in the most free and ample manner according to the several customs and usages by them, the said chiefs, warriors, women, and people of the said 6 nations. Provided, always be it understood to be the true intent and meaning of these presents, that for the purpose of assuring the said lands and aforesaid to the chiefs, warriors, women, and people of the 6 nations and their heirs, and securing of them that free and undisturbed possession and enjoyment of the same, it is our royal will and pleasure that no transfer, alienation, conveyance, sale, gift, exchange, or lease of property or possession shall at any time be made or given of the said district or territory or any part or parcel thereof by any of the said chiefs, warriors, women, and people of the said 6 nations to any other body, nation, or people whatsoever other than among themselves the said chiefs, warriors, and women people of the 6 nations, and that any such transfer, alienation of gift, conveyance, sale, gift, exchange, lease, or possession shall be null and void and of no effect whatever, and that no person or persons shall possess or occupy the said district or territory or any part or parcel thereof, or under any pretense of any such alienation or conveyance as aforesaid, by or under any pretense whatsoever, under the pain of our severe displeasure. And that in case any person or persons other than the said chiefs, warriors, women, and people of the said 6 nations shall, under pretense of any such title as aforesaid, presume to possess or occupy the said district or territory or any part or parcel thereof, that it shall be and may be lawful for us, our heirs and successors, at any time hereafter to enter upon the lands occupied and possessed by any other person or persons other than that chiefs, warriors, and women people of the said 6 nations, and them, the said true intruders thereof, therefrom wholly to dispossess and evict and resume the same to ourselves, our heirs and successors. Provided always, nevertheless, that if any time the said chiefs, warriors, women, and people of the said 6 nations should be inclined to dispose of and surrender their use and interest in the said district or territory, that the same shall be purchased only for us, in our name, at some public meeting or assembly of the chiefs, warriors, women, people of the said 6 nations, to be held for that purpose by the Lieutenant Governor or persons administering our government in our province of Upper Canada. And in testimony whereof we have caused these our letters patent to be, and the great seal of our said province to be hereunto affixed. Witnessed His Excellency John Graves Simcoe, Esquire, Lieutenant Governor and Colonel commanding our forces in our said province. Given at our Government House at Navy Hall this 1st day of April in the year of our Lord 1793 and the 33rd year of our reign, and the deed was signed by William Jarvis, Secretary.